how's it going? Another YouTuber that I follow, Alien Guitar, had a series called Bargain Bin Gear. So he's kind of getting the most out of your money with finding used gear and whatnot. And today I want to talk about lighting. This is an American DJ Par 56. This is the original incandescent par that takes up a lot of power. The 300 watt bulbs in these things. It's a nice light, but this video is about how to retrofit them to accept a modern LED light that's only around 30 watts actual, but it replaces 325 watt bulbs. So these are parts you can get at Home Depot, but basically it's getting an LED par stage lighting for cheap. These American DJs lights can go for like, seen them low as like $15 each, and all you need at Home Depot is like one of these par replacements. These are $25. Pretty pricey, but not too bad. And then an Edison style plug-in for the bulb. Now I did some searching online for LED replacements for this Par 56 style bulb. Here, I'll plug it in real quick. And it was like $100 plus for replacements for professional for this exact replacement. So if you can find an old Par 56 for like $20 or something like that, and then 25, and this is like $2. If you got a soldering iron, some wire, you can basically get yourself up and running for like under $50 for a really nice quality LED stage lighting. So how you take these things apart, down here there's a little spring attached like button that you pull up, and that will open up the back of the par. And then this is the actual fixture that plugs into the lamp. And then to take the lamp out, there's a little secured bar comes out. And then these lamps just come right out. There's nothing really holding them in besides that. In the back of the par, the receptacle plugs in to this little junction box down here, and basically you can just unscrew it with a screwdriver and it will come right out just like that. So what we're gonna do is basically put this in here, put the wires on here, drill this out, screw this thing in down here, put the wires in here, and then screw the light bulb in. That's all there is to it. So the first step, I guess, is just to drill and mount the new Edison receptacle. These things come with 2 screws So all you need to do is find some of these 832 lock nuts for the other side of it, and you're good to go. So what you want to do is open up this thing. The cool thing about these EcoSmart high output is, let's get it in focus, is that they have different colors of light, the different, they call them temperatures in photography, but the higher the number, the more blue it is, the lower the number, the more red it is. The incandescent bulbs, forget which temperature they are, but they have more of a warm tone to them. So you want to get this thing out. And you want to make sure this is on a flat surface. And then you just want to take this and try to get it as parallel facing as possible. And then when you're happy with that, hold down the base, unscrew it. Just get a pencil, mark it, mark it. Then get your drill, a little bit bigger than the bolt. Just go in there. So now you got your holes. Actually, before we put this in, we need to get the new wires together. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. Okay, so we're here at the workbench. And I have some wire here. This is like 16 gauge stranded. Should be okay. And then what you want to do is just, clip off a couple lengths. Leave a little bit of slack in there. So it's enough to attach, come through the hole, and then plug back into the receptacle thing. So just get yourself 2 of these. That's good. And then get a soldering iron going. What you want to do is try not to strip the insulation off. Try not to break the wire too bad. Leave it a little short on one side and then give it a little bit of length on the other. The longer side will go to these screws down in here. And the shorter side will go into the American DJI receptacle. So what you want to do is just get a little flux, put it in the helping hand, get that iron up in here. It's a little chilly today. And you just want to tin it and then maybe wipe off some of the excess flux. Do the other side. There we go. Good enough. Alright, I'm going to do that to the other wire and see you in a second. Alright, we got our 2 wires here. So what you want to do is bring it through. You can bend it a little bit. Give it a little bit of a curve. Bring it up to this. Screw it in. Let's bring it over here. Make it nice and tight, because this is AC power, so you don't want it to come loose. And the second screw, make sure it's in good. Same thing with this guy. Give it a little bend here. Bring it up there. There we go. Bring it through. Alright, so we're back at the fixture. Give it a little wipe. Make sure there's no metal, make sure there's no filings in there. Place this guy back in here. And then what you want to do is mount the bolt to the small part. You take the nut here, just thread it through. There's some filings on the back. Just break those off. It's a little tricky. But it's no biggie. Screw this guy on. So just get your screwdriver up in here. Get your little wrench. See if we can tighten it. Okay, you don't want it all the way. One of the little screws fell out. Whoops. So if one of these little mounting screws falls out, just gotta put it back in. Okay, so you don't want it super tight. It's a little bit janky, but after you tighten them up, it's actually very firm. So putting the other bolt here, and then get this other nut going on. Tighten them up. Let's see here. Let's just tighten them up like that. Ooh, it's a little cold in the garage. I think it's in the 40s tonight. So what you want to do is put this guy back in here. And try and kind of fuss with it to get it mounted right. That looks pretty good. And then come back. Tighten them a little bit. Give it a quick double check here. Once you get one side tight, it doesn't really tend to move. That's pretty good right there. So get this guy. Tighten him up. Okay. You don't want to over tighten them. Just kind of check it. It's pretty good. So, I mean, you gotta fiddle with it a little bit to get it where you're happy. And then what you do is put these guys back in here. Tighten them up nice and tight. You do not want these coming loose. Nice and tight. Okay. You can put this back in here. And then actually let me show you the how to set the temperature on these bulbs. Down here they have the different temperatures, and what you do is you just click it over. I've been liking 3000. That's kind of my favorite, because it's kind of like a middle of the road. It's kind of like a polite temperature. It's not too blue, not too red. It's kind of easy to work with on the eyes. So anyways, once you're happy with that, you just close back up the par. So here's how the new one looks. So this is just 30 watts of power as compared to the original 300 watts. So that's kind of the big problem with using the original PARs at home is they're 300 watts, so they'll use up all your power that you have available through your breakers. Normal home breakers are 15 amps, so it's 120 volts times 15 amps. That's 1800 watts total, but you don't want to run that all the time. It's like around 1400 safe. So with the original par 56s, that would be what, 3, 6, 9, 12. If you're pushing it, 4 to 5 at the most on the circuit. But with these LED ones, you can do 10 times that. 10 of these is 300 watts approximately. So you can use these and not have to worry about blowing any circuit breakers. It's wonderful. So for our test setup, we have the LED Retrofit. This is 30 watts. And this is the original 300 watt incandescent. So let's take a look and see how the beams differ. Alright, so we're here in the garage and let's take a look at how the beams are. This first one is the incandescent one. Let's see here. Turn them on. This is the incandescent. This is the LED one that we retrofitted. Incandescent, LED. So a couple differences. First, the beam is tighter on the incandescent one, the 300 watt bulb. It's a little bit brighter too. The LED is more dispersed. I think it just has to do with that physical bulb, the size of it, and the beam, the way the beam is. So LED, incandescent, LED. So let's fade up both. I'll turn on the LED here. So this is just the LED. So in closing, a few things. The original incandescent 300 watts, they get very hot and can be a fire hazard or a burning hazard. So you have to be very careful about them. The enclosure will get hot, and you can only run about 4 of them on your typical home circuit, and you've used up all your watts. The LED is around 30 watts, 35 watts. It doesn't get hot, so you can use it in around, pets, children, and you can even put a plastic bag over it for Halloween and don't have to worry about heat. 30 watts, you can get a bunch of them, 10, 15, and still have plenty of wattage left for, all your amps and all your other gear and stuff like that. LED, not quite as bright, not quite as good quality. You can adjust the temperature, aka the color of the white light. Incandescent's a fixed, but will establish standard. Has a little bit more of a depth, to the quality of the light, because there's a lot more different frequencies of light coming out from the incandescent than the LED. But what is it? If you can only use 1 or 2 of them, they might be good for like a key subject light or something like that. And then you can use LED for all your effects and colors. So I forgot to put in the gels. But anyways, hope this helps. Some bargain bin lighting. Hopefully you can score some good deals on some old lights and retrofit them and have some fun.